The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was the largest meeting chamber in the known universe. It floated above a blue-white nebula, inside a transparent sphere of reinforced crystal. Every species in the council had a seat there. Every voice mattered, at least in theory. But today was not a normal meeting. Today the question was simple. Should the Zirani species be exterminated forever? The Zirani were a small, peaceful race who once lived on a bright emerald planet. Their home star collapsed without warning, turning their world into ash and ruins. 10,000 Zirani managed to escape. They had no weapons, no army, no allies. They were refugees. It's nothing more. Yet the council believed they were dangerous. Rumors spread across the galaxy. Whispers that the Zirani had discovered forbidden knowledge. Whispers that they were hiding a secret technology. No one had proof. But fear did not need proof. Fear only needed a story. And now, because of that fear, the council had to vote. In the center of the circular chamber stood the High Speaker, a tall, insect-like creature with shimmering wings. It raised its staff, and the lights dimmed. "Members of the Galactic Council," the High Speaker said, voice echoing through the hall. "Today, we decide the fate of the Zirani survivors. You will vote eradication or protection." Every species had one crystal sphere in front of them. A red glow meant YES, exterminate. A blue glow meant no, spare them. Simple, cold, terrifying. Representatives shifted nervously in their seats. The hall felt heavy, like a storm waiting to break. At the far end of the chamber, the humans sat quietly. Humanity was a relatively new member of the council. Only 3 generations in, but they had surprised the galaxy many times. They adapted fast. They learned faster. And most of all, they cared about things other species often ignored, that made them unpredictable. The first vote came from the Vorkar Empire. Their representative, wrapped in dark metallic armor, placed a claw on the crystal sphere. It turned red instantly. "Exterminate," the Vorkar growled. "The Zirani cannot be trusted." The next vote came from the Relathi, a species shaped like glowing vines. Their sphere also turned red. "Exterminate. Remove the threat." Then the Korthon Dominion, the Draken Swarm, the Sheltie Enclave, one by one, the spheres glowed red. The hall turned into a sea of harsh crimson light. It was no surprise. Every rumor, every accusation pointed in the same direction. No one wanted the Zirani alive. No one. Except possibly the humans. The High Speaker looked toward the human section. "You may vote now." All eyes turned. Dozens of species leaned forward. Many expected humanity to follow the crowd. Others feared the humans would try something strange. The human representative, Ambassador Elias Ward, stood slowly. He looked calm, but his heart was beating hard. He had practiced this speech 10 times, yet the weight of the moment still pressed on him. He placed his hand on the sphere. Nothing happened yet. He had not chosen the color. Before voting, he asked for permission to speak. The High Speaker nodded. "You may." Ambassador Ward stepped forward. "My fellow council members," he began, "I ask only one question. Has any one of you spoken with the Zirani directly? Has anyone asked what happened to their home? Has anyone heard their side?" "Silence," he continued. "We talk of them as if they are monsters. We talk about extermination as if it is routine. But these are families, children, survivors of a disaster they did not create." A Vorkar general slammed a fist on the railing. "They hide dangerous knowledge. They are a threat to the entire galaxy." Ward turned toward the general. "But we have no proof," he said firmly. "We judge them based on fear, not truth." Another representative hissed. "Humans are soft. You always take pity on the weak." Ward smiled calmly. "Maybe we do. But weakness is not a crime. And compassion is not a weakness." A wave of whispers filled the chamber. The High Speaker raised the staff again. "Enough debate. Humanity, cast your vote." Ambassador Ward looked down at the sphere. He thought of the Zirani children in broken ships, crying for help. He thought of Earth, a world that once suffered wars and disasters. It still held hope. Without hesitation, he touched the sphere. It glowed bright blue. A soft gasp spread across the chamber. A single blue sphere. Inside a sea of red, humanity had voted no. Humanity refused extermination. The High Speaker's wings fluttered in confusion. Humanity rejects eradication. The vote is recorded. Several species erupted in anger. Humans defy the Council. You risk our safety. You dare protect them. Ward did not react to the shouting. He simply stood strong, hands behind his back, expression steady. The Zerani are not our enemy, he said. If they need help, Earth will help them. The chamber filled with chaos, voices clashing, arguments exploding. The High Speaker struggled to regain order. But something else happened at that exact moment. A small alert blinked on Ward's wrist communicator. He glanced down subtly. A message, encrypted, urgent. He opened it with a hidden command. A telegram flickered to life. A Zerani elder, weak and trembling, speaking in a faint whisper. Humanity, you were the only ones to show kindness. Please, help us. We have nowhere left to go. Our ships are failing. We beg you. The message cut off. Ward felt his chest tighten. Not in fear, in responsibility, he looked up. The Council was still arguing, shouting, blaming one another. They were too busy to notice him. Slowly, he closed the hologram and whispered to himself, "They're already coming." Far across space, hidden behind a fading star, a fleet of Zerani refugee ships drifted slowly toward Earth. Their engines sputtered. Their hulls cracked. Their people starving. They had heard humanity's vote. They had seen the single blue light, too. To them, that one light meant hope. 10,000 survivors placed their future in humanity's hands. They did not know if humanity was ready. They did not know if Earth could protect them, but they had no choice. The galaxy wanted them dead. Only the humans had said no, and so the Zerani ships continued their slow, desperate journey toward the one world that might welcome them, toward Earth. The vote that, shocked, the galaxy was only the beginning. The real story was about to start. The night sky over. Earth was calm when the first Zerani refugee ship appeared. It entered the atmosphere slowly, like a falling star struggling to stay alive. The craft was old, broken, and covered in burn marks. Its engines flickered like dying candles. No one needed special scanners to know it was barely holding together. Inside the Global Defense Center, alarms began to sound. Officers rushed to their stations as screens lit up with red indicators. But the alert was not a threat warning. It was a distress signal. Commander Arya Collins, head of the Orbital Response Team, read the transmission. Her expression softened. "It's them," she whispered. "The Zerani refugees. They made it." She issued immediate orders. Prepare landing channels. Signaled them that Earth is ready to receive. Across the world, satellites and communication towers reoriented. The first ship descended slowly, trembling in the air as if even gravity was too heavy for it. Behind it, more ships appeared, dozens, then hundreds. Some were missing panels. Some had fractured hulls. One ship had a massive hole ripped through its side, sealed only with emergency gel. Yet they were still coming. Still fighting to survive, Earth watched in silence. When the first ship landed on the emergency field outside New London Spaceport, rescue teams ran forward. They expected soldiers or frightened animals. They expected the rumors dangerous creatures, violent survivors. But when the doors opened, everyone froze. The first Zerani to step out was not a warrior. It was a child. Small, thin, with glowing blue eyes and skin like soft silver. It held a broken piece of fabric like a blanket. The child looked up at the humans standing there and trembled, as if expecting to be punished. A human medic knelt down slowly, offering a gentle smile. "It's okay," she whispered. "You're safe here." The child didn't understand the words, but it understood the tone. Its eyes widened with surprise then relief. More Zerani followed families, elders, parents, carrying injured children. The crowd was silent, weak, and frightened. Some could barely walk. Others collapsed the moment they touched Earth's soil. They did not look dangerous. They looked desperate. "Commander," Maria spoke softly into her headset. "All units, treat them as civilians. Prioritize medical support. Set up the shelters." On the distant horizon, more Zerani ships continued descending one after another, like a trail of ghosts returning to the world of the living. Inside the largest medical tent, Ambassador Elias Ward arrived to see the conditions himself. His heart broke at the sight. A Zerani elder lay on a bed, breathing shallowly. A human doctor scanned him, frowning. "He's malnourished," she said quietly. "They all are." Ward stepped closer. The elder opened his eyes slowly. "You kept your word," the Zerani whispered in a soft, melodic voice. "You voted against our end?" Ward nodded. "You came to us for help. We will protect you." A faint smile touched the elder's lips. "Most humans would not risk so much for strangers." "Maybe," Ward said. "But some things must be done, even when they are dangerous." The elder's eyes filled with tear-silver droplets that glowed faintly. 10,000 of us remain. We placed our hope in your one blue light." Ward inhaled sharply. He had cast a vote, yes. But the weight of what it meant was far heavier now. These people were alive because of him, and they were terrified because of the council's decision. He squeezed the elder's hand gently. "Rest. We'll take it from here." But the elder shook his head weakly. "No. There is something I must tell you." Ward leaned in. "Do not trust the council," the elder whispered. "They will not allow us to live. They fear what we carry." Ward felt a chill. "What do you mean? What do you carry?" But the elder's breathing grew shallow again. A doctor stepped forward. "He needs rest. He can't continue." Ward stepped back, troubled. What secret were the Zerani hiding? Why did the council fear them so deeply? And what danger was now coming toward Earth? Outside, the landing fields had transformed into a chaotic scene, humans giving blankets, water, food, and medical help to thousands of Zerani. The aliens were confused at first. They had expected suspicion or hostility. Instead, they received kindness. One Zerani mother clutched her injured son as she approached a human nurse. She spoke in her own language, clearly asking for help. The nurse placed a hand on her shoulder and guided her inside a tent. The mother's eyes widened. This was the first time in months anyone had treated her with compassion. Nearby, a group of Zerani children watched human engineers fix a damaged landing ramp. The humans used tools with practiced ease, working quickly. The children whispered to each other in awe. Humans were not the monsters the council had warned about. Humans helped without asking for anything in return. As night fell, the lights of the emergency camp glowed softly across the fields. Huge white tents formed temporary homes. Generators hummed. Drones floated overhead, scanning for any signs of danger. Commander Arya stood beside Ward on a raised platform, watching the refugee settlement grow. "We have space for them for now," she said. "But the council may not be happy about this." Ward gave a short, humorless laugh. "The council already hates us." Arya looked at him. "Do you think they will attack?" Ward hesitated. "I think they're scared," he said at last. "And scared governments do stupid things." Before Arya could reply, a comms officer ran up the stairs, pale and shaking. "Sir Commander, you need to see this." He handed Ward a tablet. A live feed played on the screen. A massive council. Battleship had just appeared at the edge of Earth's outer sensor range. It wasn't broadcasting greetings. It wasn't slowing down. And it wasn't alone. 3 more ships appeared behind its leak, armored and ready for war. Arya's eyes widened. "They came this fast? Why?" Ward's voice was quiet but firm. "They don't want refugees. They want to erase them." Arya clenched her fists. "Then they'll have to go through us first." Ward nodded slowly, eyes fixed on the approaching fleet. Humanity had saved the Zerani from extinction, for now. But the galaxy wasn't finished with them, and Earth's greatest challenge was just beginning. The emergency camp was quiet when the sun rose the next morning, but the peace did not last. The Zerani refugees were awake early, moving slowly between the tents, grateful for warmth, food, and safety. Humans offered them water, blankets, and medical care. For the first time in months, the refugees slept without fear. But deep beneath that calm surface, a storm was building. The Council battleships were getting closer. Commander Arya Collins stood inside the main command tent.
What?
For Red Marker's enemy ships were already at the edge of Earth's defense zone. Another two had just entered the system. They didn't waste any time, she muttered. Ambassador Elias Ward entered quietly, his face tired from a night with almost no sleep. Any updates? He asked. Arya pointed to the closest marker. This ship belongs to the Vorkar Empire. They have a history of solving problems with violence. Ward sighed. They are coming to finish what they started. Arya nodded. We need to know why they want the Zerani dead, Ward agreed. And the Zerani do have answers. But they're afraid to speak. He paused, then lowered his voice. There is something the Elder tried to tell me last night. Something about the Council fearing what the Zerani... Arya frowned. A weapon? Ward shook his head. I don't think so. They don't look like warriors. Then what? Arya asked. Ward didn't know, but he intended to find out. Inside the medical tent, Zerani refugees rested in rows. Some slept. Others whispered quietly. But all faces carried the same expression, fear mixed with confusion. When Ward entered, the Zerani elder, Eleron, opened his eyes. He struggled to sit up. A human doctor tried to stop him, but Eleron waved her away. I must speak, the elder said. His voice was weak, but determined. Ward sat beside him. The Council ships are approaching Earth, Elder. If we are to help your people, we must understand what they fear. Eleron looked at him with sad silver eyes. Humans are brave, he said. Brave and kind. But you do not understand the galaxy you have joined. Then help me understand, Ward said. The elder took a slow breath. Do you know why our star collapsed? Ward nodded. The official report said it was natural. Eleron shook his head gently. It was not natural. It was engineered. Ward felt a cold shock run through him. Engineered by who? The elder's voice trembled. By members of the Galactic Council? Ward stared in disbelief. You're saying the Council destroyed your star? Yes, the elder whispered. Because we discovered something they wanted hidden? Something ancient. Something powerful. Ward leaned closer. What did you find? Eleron closed his eyes for a moment. Gathering strength. In the last years before our star died, our scientists found a pattern in the energy waves around the galaxy. A kind of map. A record of every star that has collapsed artificially. Ward's breath caught. How many? He asked. Eleron opened his eyes. Hundreds. Ward felt sick. And the Council did this? Not all, the elder corrected gently. Only a few powerful species. They control the galaxy through fear. They remove any civilization that grows too fast or learns too much. Ward's hands tightened into fists. Why target your people? Because we found the map, Eleron said. We have the data. Proof of their crimes. And they want it destroyed. Ward understood at once. That's why they called you dangerous, he whispered. Not because you are violent, but because you know the truth. The elder nodded slowly. Ward felt the anger rising in him. They weren't just refugees. They were survivors of a genocide. And the killers were now coming to Earth. He stood suddenly. I need to inform the commanders, he said. Earth cannot hand you over. Not now. Not ever. Elder caught his hand. There is more, he whispered. We brought the map with us, but we do not know how to decode it. The device that contains it is active, but incomplete. Only together can our people and yours unlock it. Together? Yes, Eleron said. The Zerani have the star data, but humans. Humans see the universe differently. Your technology, your curiosity, your courage, you can help reveal the truth. Ward felt the weight of a new responsibility pressing on his shoulders. Then show me, he said. The elder nodded toward a small silver chest at the foot of his bed. Ward picked it up carefully. It was heavier than it looked. Inside was a glowing crystalline device shaped like a spiral galaxy. Energy pulsed gently inside it. This, Aileron said softly, is why they want us dead. Back in the command tent, Arya and her officers stared at the device as Ward placed it on the table. This contains proof of Council crimes, Ward said, and the ability to predict which stars they might destroy next. The team exchanged shocked glances. If this is true, Arya said slowly, the Council will stop at nothing to get it. Ward nodded. We must prepare Earth for a confrontation. Already in progress, Arya replied, but we are outnumbered. Ward placed a hand on the device. Not outsmarted, he said. Let's see what we can unlock. Meanwhile, outside the camp, the Zerani refugees gathered around the fire pits humans had set up for warmth. The mood was mixed. Some were relieved to be alive. Others feared the Council ships approaching the planet. A Zerani mother named Sira held her young daughter close. The child stared at the sky, watching the stars. Are they coming for us? The little girl whispered. Sira stroked her hair softly. Maybe, but we are not alone anymore. Farther away, a group of Zerani teenagers watched human soldiers train. The soldiers moved with precision and discipline. They did not look afraid. One Zerani youth whispered, they are smaller than the Vorkar, yet they stand firm. Why? Another replied, maybe courage is not about size. Humans were earning the respect of the refugees without trying. Kindness had done what guns could not. Up in orbit, the first Council battleship crossed into Earth's defensive perimeter. Human satellites sounded the alert. Fighter squadrons launched. Orbital cannons powered up. Commander Arya stood at the front of the war room. Eyes cold. We know why they're coming, she said to her officers. They want the refugees. They want their secrets destroyed. But Earth stands in their way. She looked at Ward. Are you ready? She asked. Ward glanced at the glowing device, then at the thousands of lives depending on him. Yes, he said. Let's show the galaxy what humanity stands for. As the Council ships advanced, as humans prepared for their first real test, one thing became clear. This was no longer just a rescue mission. It was a fight for truth, a fight for justice, a fight for the future of the galaxy, and humanity was right in the center of it. The night sky above Earth changed the moment the first Council battleship entered orbit. What once looked calm and peaceful now held a dangerous shadow. The giant vessel moved slowly, like a dark moon drifting into place. Its hull was lined with glowing red symbols, marks of a species that had never cared for diplomacy. Inside the Human Global Defense Center, every screen displayed the same image. A Council war fleet, fully armed. Closing in, Commander Arya Collins stood at the center of the command room. Her sharp eyes scanned the incoming data as officers rushed around her. Their main ship is charging weapons, an analyst reported. Arya clenched her jaw. They won't fire yet. They want intimidation first. Ambassador Elias Ward entered just in time to hear the last line. They think we'll hand over the Zerani, he said quietly. They think fear will work. Arya nodded. They don't understand humans very well. Ward placed the glowing Zerani star map device on the central table. This is what they want to destroy. They will attack to get it. Arya took a deep breath. Then we defend. Minutes later, a hologram flickered to life in the center of the room. The face that appeared belonged to a Vorkar commander, his armored features sharp and reptilian. Humans, the Vorkar growled. You are sheltering a species marked for extermination. Surrender the Zerani immediately. Arya stepped closer. Earth does not surrender refugees. The Vorkar's red eyes narrowed. Your vote does not matter. The Council's judgment stands. Ambassador Ward spoke calmly, though fire burned behind his words. The Zerani did nothing wrong. You destroyed their star. You know the truth. A ripple of anger crossed the Vorkar's face. You do not understand what you are defending. Their knowledge is forbidden. Ward lifted the star map device slightly. You mean this knowledge is the evidence of the Council destroying hundreds of civilizations? The Vorkar's expression cracked for the first time, shock, quickly hidden by hatred. You have no idea what you are risking, he said. Give them to us, or your planet will burn. Arya leaned forward, voice steady and cold. You want to fight? Then you will find Earth ready. The hologram vanished. Silence fell over the command room. Ward exhaled slowly. Well, that went exactly how I expected. Arya cracked a small, determined smile. Then let's show them what humans do when threatened. Across Earth, defense systems activated. Orbital cannons hummed to life. Shield satellites aligned their positions. Fighter squadrons launched from air bases around the globe, streaking upward in bright arcs. Humans had never fought the Galactic Council before, but they had prepared for the possibility. Their spirit was their greatest weapon. In the refugee camp below, the Zerani watched the sky fill with human ships. Their glowing eyes widened in fear and awe. A Zerani child tugged at her mother's sleeve. Will they protect us? Her mother knelt, holding her close. They're humans, she whispered. I think yes, they will. Nearby, a group of Zerani teenagers watched a human soldier tighten her armor. Are you really going to fight the Council? One of the teens asked. The soldier gave a nod. Someone has to. Are you not afraid? The soldier looked up toward the incoming battleships. She swallowed once, then answered honestly. I'm afraid, she said, but I'll fight anyway. To the Zerani, that was courage beyond understanding. In orbit, Earth's first defensive line formed. Human ships were smaller than Council vessels, but they were fast, agile, and piloted by people who refused to back down. Commander Arya's voice echoed through every channel. All units prepare. Shields at full strength. Hold your fire until they cross the boundary. Humanity will not be the one to shoot first. Ward stood beside her, watching the star map device pulse faintly. If we survive this, he whispered, the galaxy will change forever. Arya nodded, one step at a time. The Council fleet slowed as it approached Earth's shield perimeter. Then the largest ship broadcast another message, this time on all frequencies, audible even to civilians. Earth, this is your final warning. Hand over the Zerani survivors and the data they carry, or be removed from the Council permanently. Millions of humans heard it. Millions felt anger ignite inside them. Earth did not respond with fear. Earth responded with unity. Across cities, people gathered around screens. On farms, workers paused their tools. In classrooms, teachers turned on live feeds. From every corner of the planet, messages flowed toward leaders. Protect the refugees. Stand strong, we are with you. Humanity had spoken. Back in the refugee camp, Ambassador Ward met with Eloran once more. The elder sat supported by pillows, breathing easier now thanks to human medicine. They are coming, Ward said gently. We must tell the truth to the galaxy. Eloran nodded. I will help you decode the first part of the map. It may be enough to reveal their crimes. He reached for the star map device, placing his hand on its glowing surface. The energy inside it brightened, responding to his touch. But moments later, alarms blared through the camp. A voice echoed, Council ships crossing the boundary. They're preparing to fire. Ward and the Elder exchanged a fearful look. In orbit, the Vorkar flagship unleashed its first weapon charge. A massive beam of red energy formed at the tip of the cannon. Commander Arya gave the order. Shields up. All units brace. The beam fired. It struck Earth's orbital shield with a thunderous flashlight exploding across the sky like a second sun. The shield held, but the blast sent shockwaves through every ship. That was a warning shot, Arya said grimly. Next one will be aimed at our fleet. Ward's voice came through her comes. We had proof. We must broadcast it now. Arya hesitated only a second. Then she nodded to her communications officer. Prepare a galaxy-wide burst signal. Ambassador Ward, get ready. Back in the camp, Ward and Eloran activated the star map device. Light spread outward, forming a floating hologram shaped like a spiral galaxy. Hundreds of red dots flashed each, one a star destroyed artificially. Eloran touched 3 dots, and they expanded into symbols of planets. Planets that no longer existed. "This is the truth," the Elder whispered. "This is why they want us dead." Ward swallowed hard and looked into the nearest holocamera. "This is Ambassador Elias, Ward of Earth. To every civilization watching, the Council has lied. They've destroyed worlds, including the Zerani homestar. They have murdered billions." Arya's voice came over the transmission sent. For a moment, just a moment, the entire galaxy paused. The truth was finally out. But the Council fleet didn't retreat. Instead, the Vorkar commander roared across the system, "Humans will pay for this insolence." And the fleet charged. Arya raised her hand. "All units, defend Earth." Earth's ships surged forward. Zerani refugees watched with held breath. The galaxy listened in shock, and humanity, standing alone against a corrupt power, is prepared to make history. Earth would not surrender. Not now. Not ever. The first rays of Earth's sun fell on a planet bracing for war. The Zerani refugee camp stirred with activity. Children whispered among themselves, elders murmured prayers, and humans worked tirelessly to fortify defenses. The air was thick with both hope and fear. Inside the main command tent, Ambassador Ward and the Zerani elder, Eloran, focused on the star map device. The spiral galaxy hologram spun slowly above the table, glowing with vibrant pulses of light. "This device," Ward began. "It's more than just a map. It's a record of the Council's crimes." Eloran nodded. "Yes, each red dot is a star destroyed artificially. Each destroyed world is a story lost forever. The Council does not want anyone to know this. They call us dangerous because we can prove their lies." Ward ran his hand over the hologram. "If we show this to the galaxy—" He paused. "They'll be forced to act." "Perhaps," Eloran whispered, "but first you must understand the full scope." He tapped a section of the hologram, and clusters of red dots expanded into miniature planetary systems. Eloran pointed to one cluster close to the center. "This is our home, our star. Destroyed deliberately. The Council wanted to erase our people from memory entirely." Ward clenched his fists. "And now they've come to erase the survivors." "Yes," Eloran said, his voice trembling. "But there is more. The knowledge we carried is dangerous to the Council. It predicts which stars could collapse next, which civilizations are at risk. That is the real reason they fear us. That is the real reason they wanted us extinct." Ward's eyes widened. "So it's not just proof they want the device gone because it could destabilize the galaxy." Eloran nodded. "If the wrong species learns this knowledge, the balance of power changes. But if we use it wisely, it can protect billions of lives." Ward looked toward the camp outside. Thousands of Zerani were safe at least for now, but the Council fleet was closing in. "Then we have no time to waste. We need to unlock the full device and show the galaxy the truth before they reach Earth." Eloran's eyes flickered with a faint blue light. "It is dangerous. The device responds to intention. If misused, it could harm both friends and enemies." Ward swallowed hard. "Well, be careful. We have to be." Outside the camp, human engineers worked with the Zerani on building protective energy shields around the settlement. Unlike Earth's orbital shields, these were portable, adaptive barriers designed to absorb energy blasts and deflect debris. Humans and Zerani worked side by side, language barriers overcome with gestures, notes, and patience. A Zerani youth named Lyra watched a human soldier, Lieutenant Kale, fit the final module onto a shield emitter. "Why do humans help us?" she asked softly. Kale wiped his brow, his armor scratched from practice drills. "Because it's right. Because someone had to stand up. Someone had to say, 'Not on our watch.' That's humans." Lyra's silver eyes widened. "Even though the Council will attack?" "Especially because of that," Kale replied. "Fear is easy. Courage is rare." Lyra smiled faintly, hope blossoming in her chest. She glanced toward the sky, where the first Council battleships had slowed, forming an intimidating formation above Earth. Back inside the tent, Ward and Aloran worked together on the device. Touching different areas of the holographic galaxy caused clusters of dots to expand. Rotate and reveal hidden data. Ward's fingers hovered over one bright section. This looks like a pattern of energy signatures, he said. Each destroyed star left a unique trace. If we decode it, he hesitated. We can warn civilizations before their stars collapse. Laura nodded. Exactly. That is the power the Council fears. If this knowledge spreads, their authority crumbles. Ward frowned. But how do we unlock it fully? I can manipulate the interface, but the calculations? They are far beyond human technology. Iloran's glimmered. Together. Humans bring ingenuity. We bring memory. Our minds together can decode it. It began a synchronized process. Ward entered calculations using human quantum processors, while Iloran's thoughts flowed into the device telepathically. Energy spiraled through the crystal core, brightening until the room glowed with an almost blinding light. Suddenly, a warning signal blared. Arya's voice comes urgent and firm. Ambassador Ward. The Council fleet is moving into attack formation. They're preparing to fire on Earth. Ward's jaw tightened. We're not ready yet. Lauren placed a hand over his chest. We have little time. The light in the device surged. Streams of energy shot outward, forming intricate holographic networks that mapped not only the destroyed stars, but the Council's current fleet movements, weaknesses, and energy patterns. Ward realized the potential. With this device, Earth could anticipate and counterattacks before they'd even happened. He looked at Iloran. We can use this to protect Earth. And the refugees. Lauren nodded gravely. But only if we act quickly. Outside, the first beam from a Council ship struck Earth's orbital shield. A massive pulse of energy lit up the sky like a second sun. The shield shuddered under the blow, but held. Arya's voice cut through the tension. All units prepare to engage on my mark. We fight to protect this planet. We fight for humanity, and for those who cannot defend themselves. Fighter squadrons leaped into the void. Smaller than the Council vessels, the human ships relied on speed, strategy, and unpredictability. Orbital cannons fired, intercepting incoming missiles. The sky above Earth became a ballet of fire and light, fast, chaotic, and beautiful in its determination. From the camp below, Zorani families watched in awe. For the first time, they understood the humans' bravery. Every shot fired, every maneuver executed, was proof that Earth would not surrender. One Zorani child whispered to her mother, "The humans. They're like heroes." Her mother squeezed her hand. Yes, and now we are part of their story. In the command tent, Ward and Iloran continued their work. The device now glowed steadily, fully unlocked. Streams of data flowed into Ward's portable interface. Charts, predictions, and warnings scrolled rapidly. Ward's voice was steady but fierce. We can broadcast this. The galaxy will see the truth. They will know the Council's crimes. And we can protect others before they are destroyed. Lauren nodded. Yes, but once we do, there will be no turning back. The Council will retaliate. They will come for Earth next. Ward stared at the glowing map. Let them come. Humanity doesn't back down from bullies. And we don't abandon those in need. Lauren's eyes shimmered with pride. You are brave. As I hoped humans would be? Ward glanced toward the main com screen. Earth's fighters engaged Council ships above, the orbital shields holding firm. Then it begins, he said. Together, they prepared to broadcast the data across the galaxy. The truth was about to be revealed. The Council's lies, their destruction, their corruption, all would be seen in humanity. Standing alone against a corrupt and powerful force would not only protect the Zorani, they would change the course of the galaxy forever. The galaxy watched in silence. For the first time in history, humanity was openly defying the Galactic Council, and the truth they revealed could not be ignored. Broadcast signals from the unlocked Zerani device flowed across space, illuminating the lies and crimes of the Council. Stars destroyed artificially, planets erased from existence, and the names of the guilty species flashed across the network and above Earth. The Council fleet roared in response. Commander Arya Collins stood at the helm of the Orbital Command Center, her gaze fixed on the holographic display of incoming enemy ships. Their numbers were overwhelming. The Vorkar flagship led the charge, followed by smaller destroyers and swarming fighter craft. The Council believed Earth could be crushed quickly. They had underestimated humanity's determination. All units, Arya barked. Remember the plan. Protect the refugees. Protect the planet. Protect the truth. Engage only on my mark. In the camp below, humans and Zerani worked side by side, preparing evacuation routes, portable shields, and energy dampeners. Zerani scientists guided human engineers in manipulating the star map device to predict enemy attack vectors. Every action they took increased the odds of survival. Ambassador Elias Ward studied the device with Aloran at his side. The galaxy's network was alive with messages of hope. Civilizations that had long feared the Council's wrath were now aware of the truth. Even those who had remained neutral until now began questioning the Council's authority. Look, Aloran said, pointing to a cluster of data. The Council ship's energy output patterns. They always attack from predictable angles. If we position our forces correctly, we can minimize losses. Ward's eyes narrowed. Then we do exactly that. Let them think they control the battle, but they will be surprised. The first wave of enemy fighters struck. Swift, deadly, and numerous. They dove toward Earth's orbit. Human squadrons met them head-on, smaller but faster, weaving through fire trails and laser streams. Orbital cannons fired in precise bursts, coning incoming missiles before they could reach the planet. Above the main battle, the Vorkar flagship unleashed a devastating energy beam toward the orbital shield. The shield shivered under the impact, sending tremors across Earth's atmosphere. Commander Arya gritted her teeth. Hold steady. She shouted, We've endured worse. Humanity doesn't break under fire. Ward, monitoring the star map device, predicted the flagship's next move. They'll rotate left after this strike. Aim all interceptors there. Human fighters adjusted instantly, striking at the weak points the device revealed. Explosions rippled across space as enemy ships faltered. Below, Zerani refugees watched the battle unfold in awe. Their hope had been fragile, but now they saw it solidify into reality. Humans, a small blue planet's defenders, were standing against an armada that had dominated countless worlds. Courage was not measured by size or firepower. They realized but by the willingness to protect what was right in orbit. Ward and Aloran continued decoding the star map device. Patterns emerged, every Council ship's power frequency. Every shield resonance and every flight trajectory could be predicted. Ward leaned closer. If we can synchronize Earth's orbital weapons with this data, we can disable their shields before a direct strike. They won't expect it. Aloran nodded. Yes. And while they scramble, our fighters can neutralize their support ships. Arya's voice came through the comm, steady and commanding. Ward, proceed. We trust your judgment. Ward activated the interface. A pulse of energy radiated from the device, synchronizing with Earth's orbital cannons. The Council flagship's shield flickered under the coordinated assault. The flagship's commander growled. Realizing for the first time that humanity's strategy was precise and intelligent, not chaotic. Not reckless. Human fighters swooped in, guided by the patterns predicted by the star map device. One by one, Council support ships were disabled or forced to retreat. The tide of the battle began to shift. Meanwhile, on the ground, humans and Zerani worked tirelessly to protect the camp. Portable shields absorbed stray energy blasts, and teams evacuated civilians to safe zones. Children and elders watched with wide eyes, their fear slowly transforming into trust. A young Zerani boy tugged at a human engineer's sleeve. Are we really safe? He asked, voice trembling. The engineer smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. We are safe as long as we stand together. That's what humans do. The boy's eyes glimmered with hope. Even amidst war, courage inspired courage. Back in orbit, the Vorkar flagship made a desperate move, trying to break through the orbital defenses. It fired multiple energy streams simultaneously. Commander Arya adjusted the defenses, guided by the predictions from the star map device. Ward shouted over the comms, "Aim for the midsection. It's unstable. Their core will overload if struck there." Human fighters responded instantly. Explosions rippled across the flagship. Warning lights flashed across its hull. Systems began to fail. The flagship staggered, forced to retreat from the coordinated assault. Aloran's eyes glimmered with pride. The device. It works. Ward nodded, his heart racing. It does. But the battle isn't over. As the flagship faltered, other council ships began to pull back, seeing the strength and determination of humanity. Civilizations across the galaxy, witnessing the broadcast of the star map device and Earth's courage, started questioning the council openly. A message came from a distant star system. "We stand with Earth. The truth must be known." Another followed. "We will provide aid to protect the refugees." The council's lies cannot continue. The galaxy was waking up. The tide was turning. The final council commander, furious and desperate, broadcast a direct message to Earth. "You may have delayed us humans, but your defiance will cost you everything. Surrender now, and we may spare your planet. Resist, and all will be lost." Ward stepped forward, holding the star map device. His voice carried across all comm channels. "We will never surrender. Humanity protects those who cannot defend themselves. The Zirani are our allies. The truth will be known, and the Council's crimes will not go unpunished." The transmission echoed across the galaxy. Worlds listened. Ships faltered. Empires questioned their loyalty. Courage, honesty, and unity had never been broadcast so clearly in orbit. The Council fleet, now scattered and weakened, began to retreat. Some ships fled back to their sectors. Others surrendered. Humanity had not only defended Earth, but it also exposed the corruption of one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. Commander Arya exhaled, leaning against the console. "We did it," she said softly. "We actually did it," Ward smiled, though exhaustion showed on his face. "Yes, but the galaxy is watching now, and they will hold us accountable for every life we protect." Iloran looked at the thousands of Zirani below. "Your courage saved my people. Your bravery will inspire generations. You have shown the galaxy what it means to stand for truth." Ward nodded. "No, Iloran, we've only just begun. Humanity will always protect what is right." The Zirani children looked up at the sky, eyes shining. They had seen fear, destruction, and death, but they had also seen courage, hope, and unity. And for the first time, they believed that survival was more than escape, was a chance to rebuild, to stand and to thrive. The first battle had been won, but the war for the galaxy's conscience had only begun. Humanity had proven its strength, not through weapons alone, but through wisdom, courage, and heart. And as the stars settled into the aftermath of the battle, one truth was clear. The galaxy had witnessed what Earth could do. The galaxy had witnessed humanity. The galaxy had witnessed hope. The aftermath of the battle hung over Earth like a heavy yet triumphant fog. Smoke from orbital weapon blasts had long since dissipated, leaving the sky clear. The Council fleet had retreated, broken, and humiliated. Word of humanity's courage and the truth revealed by the Zirani star map spread across the galaxy. Like wildfire, Earth was still standing. Its cities had been spared. Its people had survived. Its resolve had inspired countless civilizations to question the authority of the Galactic Council. And for the first time in generations, hope felt tangible. In the Zirani refugee camp, life began to normalize, though it was far from ordinary. Families rebuilt homes inside human-made shelters. Children ran freely for the first time in months, and elders shared stories that had been silenced by fear. Iloran, the Zirani elder, stood outside one of the tents. Watching humans and Zerani work together, his silver eyes reflected the morning sun. "Your people," he said softly to Ward, "have done more than protect my people. You have changed the galaxy's history." Ward smiled, though weariness etched his face. "We only did what we had to do. You deserved a chance to live, and the truth deserved to be told." Aloran nodded. "Truth is stronger than fear, Ambassador. Humanity has shown both today. Across the planet, human leaders gathered to discuss the next steps. They had learned that many civilizations had already begun sending aid to Earth. Ships carrying food, medicine, and engineers arrived from star systems that had long been oppressed by the Council. One of the first to arrive was a fleet from the Arathi Confederation. A species once neutral, but inspired by the broadcast. Their ambassador approached Ward. "Earth has changed the galaxy," she said. "We pledge our support. Let us rebuild together. Let us make sure the Council cannot harm anyone else." Ward nodded. "Then let this be the beginning, not the end. We will work together to protect the innocent and preserve freedom." Meanwhile, in the Orbital Command Center, Commander Arya Collins oversaw the final stages of Earth's defenses. The Council's ships had retreated, but their presence still loomed in the background. Some feared retaliation. Others doubted if the Council would ever attempt a direct attack again. Arya remained pragmatic. "They won't stop trying," she said to her officers. "But they now know that Earth and humanity cannot be controlled or intimidated." One young officer asked, "Do you think they'll ever respect us?" Arya smiled faintly. "Respect is earned by courage. And today, we earned it not just from them, but from the entire galaxy." In the refugee camp, Zerani children played with human children for the first time. Small, fragile fingers intertwined as they explored the repaired tents and small gardens planted to provide food. A Zerani boy laughed as he ran through a sprinkler, silver droplets glinting in the sunlight. A human girl watched him and grinned. "You're fast," she shouted. The boy laughed back. "Not as fast as my friends." Adults watched from nearby, smiles replacing the fear that had dominated them for so long. Humanity had not only defended their lives, but also restored their hope. In a quiet chamber of the Orbital Command Center, Ward and Elaran continued their work with the star map device. They had fully decoded its contents, revealing not only past crimes of the Council, but also hidden star systems at risk, Ward said. "We can now warn other civilizations before disaster strikes. This knowledge will save millions of lives." Aloran nodded. "And humanity will ensure it is used wisely. You do not seek power, only justice." Ward felt the weight of responsibility. It's a responsibility we cannot ignore. The galaxy trusts us now. We cannot fail. The elder placed a reassuring hand on Ward's shoulder. "You will not fail. Courage has always guided your people, and it will guide you now." The Council, humiliated by their defeat, held emergency meetings. For the first time in centuries, several member species openly criticized the corrupt leadership. Civilizations that had feared speaking out began to demand justice. The Council could no longer hide behind intimidation or secrecy. Back on Earth, Ward received a message from the High Speaker of the Council. The hologram flickered to life, showing an insect-like figure with wings drooping in defeat. "Ambassador Ward," the High Speaker said, "humans have exceeded expectations. We acknowledge your victory. The Zerani survivors shall remain under Earth's protection. Further actions against your planet will be reconsidered." Ward's response was firm. "Earth does not threaten the galaxy, but we will protect those who cannot protect themselves. Remember that courage and justice are stronger than fear and lies." The hologram flickered and vanished. In the weeks that followed, Earth became a beacon of hope. Refugees from other oppressed worlds began seeking asylum. Scientists from various civilizations collaborated to repair damaged systems, study the star map device, and share knowledge. Humanity's example inspired a wave of cooperation across star systems. At the refugee camp, Eloran gathered the Zerani, spoke softly but clearly. "Earth has given us a second chance. We will live, rebuild, and thrive here. But remember, it is not only about survival, it is about choosing what is right, even when the odds are against us." Children listened attentively. Adults nodded. For the first time in years, the weight of fear lifted. Ward stood atop a hill overlooking the camp. Watching humans and Zerani working together, he felt a sense of pride unlike any he had ever known. Humanity had stood alone against a corrupt galaxy, had protected the innocent, and exposed the truth. Arya joined him, hands clasped behind her back. "The galaxy will not forget this, will it?" she asked. Ward shook his head. "No, they will remember that courage matters, that justice matters, that even a small world can change the fate of millions." Arya smiled. "Then it seems we've done more than fight a battle. We've started a revolution of hope." As night fell, Earth's sky glowed softly with the lights of incoming aid fleets and the stars above. Humans and Zerani alike gazed upward, thinking of home, survival, and the future. Ward looked at Aloran one last time before the elder returned to the camp. "Will your people ever forget what we've done for them?" he asked. Aloran smiled faintly. "Never. Humanity has shown us that courage and kindness can change the course of the galaxy. That is a lesson that will live forever." Ward nodded. "And humanity will continue to stand for what is right. Always." The galaxy had witnessed the impossible, a single blue planet defending a refugee species, revealing the Council's corruption and inspiring billions across countless worlds. Earth had proven that courage, compassion, and intelligence were more powerful than fear, lies, or raw strength. The Zerani refugees would thrive. Humanity had secured not only their survival, but also a legacy of justice, hope, and unity. For the first time in centuries, Galaxy glimpsed a future not ruled by fear, but by those willing to stand for what was right. On the hilltop overlooking the camp, Ward, Arya, and Aloran stood in silence. The stars stretched above them, countless and bright, a reminder of both the dangers that lurked and the possibilities that awaited. Aloran spoke softly. "A new era begins. Thanks to humans." Ward smiled, looking out at the lights of Earth and the camp below. "Yes, a new era, and it's just the beginning." The wind carried the sound of laughter, the hum of energy shields, and the faint glow of the star map device. Across the galaxy, civilizations watched, learned, and hoped. Humanity had proven one truth that no one could ever take away, even the smallest world. When brave and just could change the fate of the stars,